What if I told you Lil Scrappy wasn't just betrayed? He was publicly humiliated, and not by some random internet side piece, but by the one woman he built his whole image around, Bambi. And not just her, but her ex-husband. Yeah, let that sink in. Because late last night, Scrappy's phone got leaked, and what was inside wasn't just some harmless flirty DMs or vague screenshots. No, this was a full-blown recorded phone call. We're talking emotional cheating, whispered secrets, and one damning line that's now exploding across the internet. He don't even know I still call you every week. Scrappy's reaction? You could hear the shock in his breath, his voice barely audible as he whispered, "So that's what this was this whole time?" Bambi tried to laugh it off like it was nothing, like the internet wouldn't hear it. But the internet didn't laugh. It erupted. Screenshots, audio clips, celebrity reactions, fan theories, it all came pouring in. And one thing was crystal clear. She played him. This isn't just messy. This is full-on war, emotional, dirty, and caught on tape. And what's coming next? It's the kind of fallout that could end careers. If you thought Bambi's drama peaked last season, oh, you've got no idea what's still hiding in the shadows. Let's rewind, not just to last week or even last month. Let's go way back to when Bambi and Lil Scrappy were the so-called power couple of love and hip-hop Atlanta. Red carpets, sweet family confessionals, black love, hashtags, and a picture-perfect narrative that fans bought into. But that whole love story, it wasn't real. It was the first lie. Because what leaked from Scrappy's phone last night wasn't just some forgotten argument. It was raw, unfiltered, unreleased proof that their entire relationship may have been built on a fantasy and a trap. It all started with one voicemail, just one. But it didn't sound like a fan or a casual check-in. It was Bambi's voice, low, soft, almost seductive. And then came the words that shook the internet. "You know I only smile on camera, right?" That one line? It exposed everything. The fake smiles, the staged love, the lies hidden beneath the glitz of reality TV. And now that the truth is spilling out, the only question left is, who's going down next? I'm with him. The real ones still know where my heart is. And just like that, everything Scrappy thought he knew, gone, shattered, because the man on the other end of that voicemail wasn't him, it was her ex-husband. Yes, the same ex she swore she hadn't spoken to in years. You can literally hear Scrappy gasping in the screen recording as the file plays. That's when he mutters off camera, "Yo, what is this?" Nah, this was some sick betrayal. And it only got worse from there. Because that wasn't just one voicemail. There were seven messages, each one more intimate, more deliberate, and more devastating than the last. In one, Bambi even jokes, "Scrappy thinks I'm over you. I just keep the lie alive for his mama." Oh my God. Now just imagine being Scrappy, scrolling through your phone, checking old cloud backups, only to realize your entire marriage might have been nothing more than a stage play, a business deal, a scripted storyline. And guess what? You weren't even the lead character. By morning, that first voicemail had already hit 3 gossip blogs. Within hours, it was subtitled, remixed, and transformed into TikTok's most viral sound of the day. That line, "Keep the lie alive for his mama," was stitched into every reaction video imaginable. People started posting old clips of Bambi, looking cold in interviews, side eyes from the reunion couch, moments that suddenly made sense. One user posted, "All that time he was clapping back for her. She was calling her ex." And let's be real, Scrappy, he's not just heartbroken. He's exposed. Scrappy isn't new to betrayal. He's been through public scandals, fake headlines, shady co-stars. But this hit different. Because this wasn't about a fight or a messy DM or even a random flirtation gone too far. This was recorded, time-stamped, documented. Emotional warfare in surround sound. And here's where it gets twisted. The leaks didn't stop at the voicemails. Oh no. Right after those audio clips went viral, an anonymous Twitter account started, dropping screenshots. And not just any screenshots. We're talking alleged texts from what looks like Bambi's burner number, long conversations, heart emojis, Location pins, that matched filming days. That's right. Allegedly, while Bambi was on set, filming scenes with Scrappy, laughing, loving, doing couple confessionals, she was texting her ex-husband, plotting, whispering, sending coordinates. You couldn't make this up if you tried. One message hit the timeline and blew everything up. I just need to get through this last reunion. After that, I'm done playing wife. Playing wife. 2 words that cut deeper than a divorce decree. 2 words that flipped the script, shattered the illusion, and sparked a wildfire across social media. In seconds, the internet exploded. Screenshots flew, reels spun, and even people who never liked Scrappy, people who used to clown his music, mock his slang, or call him a mama's boy, were suddenly Team Scrappy. One tweet summed up the mood perfectly. I don't care if he's corny, no one deserves this. He held her down through everything, and the truth is, they weren't wrong. Scrappy was never perfect. But when it came to Bambi, he tried. He really tried. He stood by her through pregnancy rumors that never quite added up, defended her. When family drama with Mama D spilled over into full-on chaos, and backed her up in every single cast fight, even when it cost him friendships or his own peace. Every time the blogs whispered something shady, he jumped into the comments. Every time someone fired a shot, he stepped in front like a human shield. He showed up. He held it down. He believed in what they were building, even when it was breaking, and the saddest part? He was still trying. Right up until the end, still making excuses for her, still pushing through awkward scenes, still showing up to those reunions, even when his eyes said what his mouth wouldn't, even when he felt the distance, the cold shoulder, the silence after the cameras stopped rolling, until now. Because now, he's alone, sitting in a dark room, holding his own phone, and listening to his wife, the woman he once thought he'd grow old with, say the words that would finally break him. You'll always have my heart, even if I have to fake a home with him. That voicemail didn't just hurt. It ended something, and according to insiders close to the production, that's the exact moment Scrappy made one last call. Not to her, not to his boys, not even to his mother. He called Mona Scott Young. Allegedly, the call was short, just 3 words. I'm done, period. And then, he hung up. Sources at VH1 say Mona didn't even flinch. One insider whispered, she already knew, we all did. To them, it was just confirmation. A moment they'd been waiting on, half with dread, half with relief. The end of a chapter that had dragged too long, full of tension, edits, and whispered off-camera side-eyes. But Scrappy, hearing it for himself? It was like watching a man get stabbed with his own trust. You could almost see it in real time, the slow collapse, that look in his eyes when the words landed, that shift in his posture, like the weight of years had suddenly become too much. Because trust wasn't the only thing that died that night. Something inside him went cold. He had built his life, his family, his reputation, his storyline, on loyalty. He thought that meant something. He thought love meant weathering the storms, riding for your partner even when the narrative got messy. But this wasn't just betrayal. This was performance, an entire relationship, reduced to a role. And this leak, it ignited something. Not just in Scrappy, but in the culture, in the fans, in the cast, in the people who had been watching, half invested, thinking it was all for show. Suddenly, it felt real. Too real. The hashtag started rolling in. Free Scrappy. Scrappy deserves better. Playing wife. Think pieces dropped. IG lives popped off. Former castmates who had been silent started picking sides. In a franchise built on drama, this moment hit different. Because, for once, the cameras didn't catch it first. The heartbreak wasn't staged. The fallout wasn't scripted. This was raw. This was human. And this was final. When Scrappy made that call and said, I'm done, period, it wasn't just the end of a love story. It was the end of an era, and according to some, the beginning of his rebirth. By mid-afternoon, Dar Ask Scrappy and Played by Bambi were both trending. Twitter was in flames, and then it got worse. Second anonymous account, allegedly connected to Bambi's ex, posted a 30-second audio teaser. In it, you hear Bambi laugh, that cold laugh. And then she says, "He thinks I married him because I loved him. Nah, I married him because it made sense for TV." Mic drop, and the internet hasn't recovered since. Then she said it, cold, as ice. "I had to marry him. That's how you get storyline security, baby." That one line set everything on fire. Scrappy's cousin reposted the clip with the caption, "Yo, this girl never loved my bro." And just like that, the family was officially involved. Mama D, who had been silent for months, finally broke her silence. She posted a cryptic message. "Some of us tried to warn him. Energy don't lie." Fans instantly knew who she was talking about. Even Erica Dixon couldn't resist the shade. She tweeted, "Sometimes the wife is just a really good actress." Now the floodgates were wide open. Bambi's image, once curated, polished, and fiercely protected, was unraveling in real time. Fans started digging up old clips, watching her body language in reunion episodes, matching outfits to alleged meetup dates. Reddit exploded with theories. One post even had side-by-side screenshots showing Bambi filming confession. This wasn't acting. This was auditioning for a check. And this time, it wasn't just fans reacting. A former production assistant leaked alleged screenshots showing timestamps of Bambi texting her ex during filming breaks. The messages were brutal. "He's crying again, LOL. I should win an award for this episode." Scrappy's friends started backing away. Young Jock went live. "Man, sometimes silence says everything." Then he shut off the camera. Even Erica Dixon joined the shade parade. She tweeted, "Some folks got love confused with opportunity." But the one who hit the hardest? Mama D. She had stayed quiet for months, until now. She posted a throwback photo of Scrappy as a little boy, and simply wrote, "He always had a good heart. Too bad hearts don't see lies coming." A kid, holding her hand. A caption that read, "I failed him. I should have trusted my gut. Never again." That post from Mama D hit differently. Fans weren't just heartbroken. They were furious. The tide had officially turned. Comments under Bambi's posts turned brutal, unfiltered, and relentless. In less than 24 hours, her follower count dropped by over 30,000. Influencer brands quietly began pulling her promo tags. The fall from grace wasn't slow. It was violent. And just when it seemed like the storm might pass, a new hurricane hit. A video surfaced. Not a blurry, grainy clip. This was 4K studio lighting, crisp audio. Bambi sat on a plush white couch, sipping wine, laughing. She was mid-conversation, completely relaxed, clearly unbothered. And then, she said it. "I'm not in love with him. I love what we look like." She sipped again. "Don't act like you ain't the real love story. You just didn't come with a contract." That video was the tipping point. The internet didn't just cancel her, they dissected her. Episode by episode, scene by scene. They pulled quotes, expressions, wardrobe. They replayed moments where Scrappy looked heartbroken while she looked like she was clocking into work. Side by side, comparisons flooded social media. One tweet went viral. "She was cold from day one. He was just too in love to notice." Meanwhile, VH1 was spiraling. Reports leaked about an emergency producer meeting. Sources claimed they considered pulling Bambi from the season 13 promo cycle. Too much backlash, too fast. But Bambi, she wasn't fazed. The next morning, she posted an Instagram boomerang, flipping her hair, stepping out of a luxury SUV, the Koi. Caption, "Unbothered always." No explanation, no denial, just attitude. She turned off the comments within the hour, and then came the bombshell. A woman claiming to be Bambi's former assistant leaked a Dropbox folder to 3 major gossip blogs. Inside, dozens of screenshots, raw voice memos, and one conversation that left jaws on the floor. In the voice note, Bambi whispered, "Scrappy was never the man. He was the platform." And just like that, the platform collapsed. VH1 went into damage control, quietly re-editing promos, deleting trailers. But it was too late. The internet had already seen too much. Scrappy's fans rallied. Streams of his old music shot up. Fan pages dedicated to protecting black men began reposting him. Even bloggers who once called him toxic began to change their tone. We misjudged him. He wasn't the manipulator. He was the manipulated. Then came the legal questions. Could Scrappy sue? Was this emotional fraud? Could the prenup be voided? Legal TikTok exploded. Lawyers went live, breaking down how deception and intentional emotional manipulation could shift divorce terms. Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club said it plainly, "Is it abuse if you trap someone emotionally for a reality check?" And just when the internet thought it had hit rock bottom, the ex-husband came back. One last voicemail. Not from Bambi. This one, allegedly, was from her mother. The voice, older but sharp, said, "You do what you got to do, baby. Marriage is a move, not a feeling." Then the tape cut. The ex smirked on livestream. Y'all ready for part 3? Because what comes next isn't just about betrayal. It's about contracts, lies, and possibly criminal intent. Let's go. And just like that, the scandal leveled up. This wasn't messy reality TV anymore. This was courtroom-level deception. That voicemail from Bambi's mother, it wasn't a whisper of motherly support. It was a full-on strategy session. The voice was clear and confident. Use what you got to get what you need. If Scrappy's gonna cry, let him cry in HD. Bloggers didn't waste time. Voice match software confirmed a 97% match with previous reunion footage. It was her. That was enough to send the internet into full CSI mode, Love and Hip Hop, Fraud Edition. And the word that started trending wasn't scandal. It was scam. People weren't just mad at Bambi anymore. They were angry at VH1, at the producers, at the entire franchise. If this storyline was fake, how many others were manufactured too? Who else finessed a marriage for clout and check-ins? Then it got worse. A local Atlanta journalist dropped a Twitter thread that made everyone stop scrolling. According to public records, back in 2021, Scrappy took out a business loan using joint marital assets. The purpose? To fund a joint brand that Bambi was allegedly building, but leaked emails told a different story. Weeks before the loan was approved, Bambi had already moved the brand paperwork into her name only. That meant Scrappy took the financial risk, and Bambi walked away with the bag. The implications were chilling. This wasn't just betrayal. This looked like financial fraud. Within 24 hours, Scrappy's legal team filed a motion to freeze all accounts connected to Bambi's brand. Rumors swirled that the court documents included phrases like manipulation of marital identity for personal gain. Just reading it felt like getting slapped. Fans were stunned. This wasn't just about love anymore. This was about exploitation, systematic, strategic, and now litigated. Then came the ex-husband. Again. This time he didn't go live. He dropped a 3-minute pre-recorded call. Bambi's voice was unmistakable. The call was dated just days after the engagement, and in it she said, "I don't care if it lasts. I just care if it trends." That quote, it broke the internet in half. Even people who had defended her before went silent. Overnight, Bambi's name trended under every negative hashtag imaginable. Cancel Bambi, Free Scrappy, VH1 exposed. Meanwhile, Scrappy had gone ghost. No posts, no stories, not even a like. Until he reappeared, on stage, in Houston. Mid-performance, he paused. The lights dimmed. He looked out at the crowd. Y'all ever love someone so much you didn't see the setup? The audience screamed. Then he added, "Well, I see it now." He dropped the mic and walked off. The stage moment went viral instantly. Within minutes, the video of Scrappy walking off in Houston hit Twitter, trending at number 2 globally. Blogs exploded with headlines like, "Scrappy finally speaks, and it's a mic drop moment." But the biggest twist? Still coming. Now that legal documents were officially in play, the court stepped in. The leaks were no longer gossip. They were evidence. A judge issued subpoenas for both Bambi and her ex-husband. Yes, under oath. This wasn't just messy, it was potentially criminal. Suddenly, the stakes weren't likes or views, they were perjury. And just when fans thought they'd seen every recording, one last clip surfaced. And this one could ruin her for good. It was raw, behind the scenes. Bambi was mid-makeup, touch-up during a filming break, seated casually next to a VH1 producer. Laughing, calm, completely unaware she was being recorded. Then she leaned in and said, "You get me the edit I want, and I'll give y'all a storyline that breaks the season." The producer raised an eyebrow. "You serious?" She smiled. "Watch me." The implication, crystal clear. She wasn't just part of the story, she was producing it. Fans were stunned. This wasn't manipulation anymore. This was documented collusion. And the network? Busted. VH1 suddenly found itself in the hot seat, not just for letting it happen, but for possibly encouraging it. People demanded accountability. Twitter turned into a tribunal. Cast members were tagged nonstop. Say something. A petition on change.org began circulating to force VH1 to issue a statement. Within 72 hours, it passed 250,000 signatures. Fast, sponsors panicked. One of Bambi's biggest brand deals, a skincare company, immediately cut ties. Their statement was sharp. "We stand for honesty and authenticity. This is not that." And Bambi? Still silent. No apology. No denial. Just pictures from a beach resort, captions like "peace over drama," and a deactivated comment section. She was acting like the storm wasn't even real. But Scrappy? He was done pretending. Courtroom cameras captured him arriving with his lawyer. No entourage, no smile, just sharp suit, stone face, and steady steps. He wasn't there to talk. He was there to win, and then came the real bombshell. As court documents started surfacing, so did a new detail, one that changed everything. Bambi's contract with VH1 may have included a bonus clause, a payout that rewarded her for bringing high-impact drama and storyline virality. Let that sink in. She may have been paid extra to ruin her own marriage. Drama meant dollars. Every fight, every cry, every so-called emotional breakdown, it was all part of a monetized strategy. The more chaos Bambi brought to the season, the bigger her bonus, and suddenly the audience wasn't just mad. They felt played, used, exploited. People began posting videos of themselves burning Bambi's merch. Hashtags turned into organized movements. Think pieces flooded YouTube with titles like, "This was never love, it was performance art." Comments were unanimous in rage. She didn't just weaponize Scrappy's heart, she monetized it. One fan wrote, "Scrappy doesn't need a reunion show, he needs a documentary deal." But amid the noise, one voice cut deeper than all the others. Mama D. She went live. No glam, no filter, just raw pain. "I begged him not to marry her," she said. "I saw the signs. But you can't teach a man love when he's drowning in hope." Then she broke down. And the internet broke with her. Because beyond the memes and gossip, there was something deeply human about a mother watching her son's soul get betrayed on national TV. But then, the twist. In the final moments of her own live stream, Bambi returned. No glam squad, no edits, just her, straight to camera. "Y'all think I'm the villain? Cool, but I wasn't the only one playing." Then she ended it with, "Y'all ready for part 2? Wait, what? Was she about to flip the entire story? Was she hinting that Scrappy had secrets too? Or was this just a deflection from someone finally cornered? The live chat erupted. Some fans speculated she was bluffing. Others said, she's been holding her own receipts. But one thing was certain, this wasn't over. Because behind every exposed lie, there's another one still waiting. And Scrappy? Sure, he might have won the public. But behind closed doors, the next leak could shatter everything. Stay tuned, the blogs teased. Because this war of love, lies, and live streams just turned federal. So now the question isn't who hurt who. It's, was any of this real? Did Scrappy fall in love? Or did he just fall into a storyline? Did Bambi really lose herself in the Fame? Or did she always know exactly what she was doing? That voice memo from her mother wasn't just advice, it was a blueprint. A fully funded operation, disguised as a marriage. The love? Leased, not owned. And here's the real question you should be asking. If this is what they were willing to leak, what's still hidden? What contracts are locked in vaults? Which cast? Members are faking families for footage? And most importantly, if Scrappy's tears were real, who gets the refund? Because this isn't just a breakup. It's a full-blown breakdown of truth, trust, and television. So if you thought this was wild, just wait. When part 2 drops, you'll hear it here first, right where the truth always leaks loudest. We don't report the tea, we pour it, boiling. So sip carefully, because the next cup might just burn the whole industry down. See you in the next expose. Expose season never ends.